So Adam means red, red clay. And then there's Eve, and Eve was black, making the choice of Israel, red and black, like the dirt that he formed us from, the ground. Like in the reading of the Song of Solomon, I am dark and beautiful, and my beloved one is tan and handsome. In other scriptures, he's referred to as Rudy. Shem and Ham are the dark races. The Egyptian Pharaoh, Ham, and the Israelites, red and black, leaving Japhet are the white races. We started off as Rudy and copper color, but through colonization we got lighter and lighter. It was done purposely so we could look less and less like our creator. The Northern Kingdom fell first for obvious reason, as you can see in these pictures, for idol worshipping and worshipping the sun god. Adonai will bring a nation against you from far away, from the ends of the earth like an eagle swooping down, a nation whose language you will not understand, a fierce-looking nation without respect for the old or pity for the young. The tribe of Dan, the one that broke off the tree of life, or like to refer to them as the Eagle Nations. You get certain names as London, Scandinavia, Denmark, from the tribe of Dan. The children descendants of Japhet, along with the Roman Empire, the ones that gave us a so-called religion. The Eagle Nation, Roman Eagle, American Eagle. And there goes ISIS. Statue of Liberty, ISIS. The Windsors, Queen Elizabeth, shapeshifter. And all presidents minus one is related to the King of England. George Washington, first president, Freemason. Therefore prophesy and say, thus say Adonai Jah, precisely because they made you desolate and crushed you from all sides, so that you become the possession of all the rest of the nation, and you became the talk and evil gossip of the people. Therefore thus say Adonai Jah, surely I have spoken in my hot jealousy against the rest of the nations and against all Edom, who gave my land to the self as a possession, with wholehearted joy and utter contempt, that they might make his pasture lands a prey. The king of Babylon always sits in America, and America is Mystery Babylon. I will repay Babylon and all the Chaldeans for all the evil they have done to my people, says Adonai. Just as Babylon killed the people of Jezreel, so must she be killed. And by the way, Jah's people dwell at the center of the earth. The lands were distributed between the three sons of Noah, and we were given the center of the earth. And Shem was given the center of the earth. The center of the earth, located in the southeast corner of California, only a few miles away from Mexico and Arizona. The center of the world. The siege of Jerusalem, Babylonian captivity. Northern kingdom, southern kingdom. The crown is fallen from my head. Woe unto us that we have sinned, and we fell into a sleep. And by the way, the Antichrist will be coming from the tribe of Dan. And remember, the king of Babylon sits in America. The children of Israel come from Shem, and the lot of Shem was at the center of the earth. The time is coming when everything that is covered up will be revealed, and all that is secret will be made known to all. Whatever you have said in the dark will be heard in the light, and what you have whispered behind closed doors will be shouted from the housetops for all to hear. You could watch the full video on YouTube on the What the Flock TV. Denver Airport. I covered the Denver Airport before.
Shushing us. It's all out of focus and weird.
Well, one may say these are the type of visitors that we have underground in our facility.
Stacy Stegman is the airport spokesperson. What's really going on?
What's really going on is we are revitalizing our terminal, improving security, creating additional capacity so that we can serve our passengers into the future.
Okay, that's boring. This is a lot more fun, just for the record.
Exactly.
They even post on social media when aliens roam the airport. Since it opened in 1995, America's fifth busiest airport has swirled with conspiracy theories. How the runways make a swastika. How the blue Mustang statue earned the nickname Blucifer after it fell over and killed the artist. And then the murals. Some show peaceful times, some show apocalypse. If art is in the eye of the beholder, conspiracy investigative journalist Jay Widener beholds doom. City underwater, flaming forests. This is scary stuff.
It's telling people in the know what this airport is all about.
This theory says baggage handlers share basement space with a secret underground railroad to bunkers in the Rocky Mountains, where top government officials will survive nuclear war.
I heard that it's maglev. The whole thing is
Magnetic levitation.
Magnetic levitation.
And as the airport has some chuckles with conspiracy, there is the cat in the hat.
Additionally, the airport building costs were more expensive than originally thought. Theorists believe the money went to building the headquarters. Rumour has it they screwed up the first buildings, and instead of getting rid, they just buried them and built on top of them to make one super cool, super secret underground lair. Conspiracy number 3. The artwork contains clues to the apocalypse. You've seen them, and many confused look, wondering why, how, what really. They are the interesting pieces of art decorating the airport. You'll see it on many channels, they include it, and obviously it's a famous, it's gone viral artwork of basically children in face masks from all around the world. I'll show you the image on the screen. It's been on here for a minute or so. This is not at the airport. You'll see videos and people state it's at the airport. I've had people tell me who live there it's at the airport. It's never at the airport. It was made by a Filipino artist called CJ Trinidad. In Jewish, Christian and Islamic literature, a celestial winged being with a human, animal or bird-like characteristics who functions as a throne bearer of the deity. But also something else, and I'm going to read something else now, that you might go, flaming sword. Now in Freemason, the flaming sword is representative of the sword carried by the cherubim, who guarded the entrance to the Tree of Life and the Garden of Eden, and who also drove Adam and Eve from the garden due to their transgressions. However, this may be only tip of the iceberg when it comes to symbolism of the flaming sword. Why am I going on about a flaming sword, you may ask? Well, what if you've already got the cherubim or the gargoyles in the airport, east and west? If only there was a flaming sword. And this is the Westin, the hotel, but it's part of the hotel and transport links underneath. That's not a sword, Paul. Let's go above. There we go, another little zoom out. Tell me that is not a flaming sword. Because I'm telling you what, there's nothing where you can look around it. That, to me, is an illuminated flaming sword. Found this from Masonic Journal Online. A sword whose blade is of a spiral or twisted form is called by the heralds a flaming sword, from its resemblance to the ascending curvature of the flame of fire. Until very recently, this was the form of the tiller's sword. Carelessness or ignorance is now in many lodges substituted for it a common sword of any form. The flaming sword of the tiller refers to the flaming sword which guarded the entrance to paradise as described in Genesis. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword which turned everywhere to keep the way of the tree of life, or as Raphael has translated it, the flaming sword which revolveth to guard the way to the tree of life. In former times, when symbols and ceremonies were more respected than they are now, when collars were worn and not ribbons in the buttonholes, and when standing column of the senior warden and the recumbent one of the junior during labour to be reversed during refreshment were deemed necessarily for the complete furniture of the lodge. The cavalry sword was known as a Masonic implement, and the tiller always bore a flaming sword. Now, and east of the Garden of Eden were stationed the cherubim and the fiery ever-turning sword to guard the way to the tree of life. Now, people have talked about the tree of life, the Garden of Eden being in America. Go back a little bit to the cherubim, the flaming sword, Eden, the airport, obviously the connection I was talking about. Yes, it's just theorising. I'm not actually saying it could be, they could be talking about it, metaphorically, or who knows. I don't know anything, as I say, I'm winging it. But I do like to use a stretch or a coincidence to my better, because it's just something, when it plants a seed and you just have to look at it. So I thought, I'm going to go back quickly to look at this, because as you remember, the cherubim drove out Adam and Eve and guarded to the east, and that's where basically the flaming sword is. And if I'm not going to go into too much detail, but Adam literally means red, and there is an etymological connection between Adam and Adamah, Adamah being red clay or red ground. In a non-theological context, in traditional Jewish theology, a strong etymological connection between the two is often assumed. So obviously we know red earth, red, so emphasis on the red from Adam. That got me thinking, is there anything red in Colorado? And obviously you have the rocks and the earth in some places, but I didn't know this. And I went, wow. So where did the word Colorado come from? Colorado's name has its origins in the Spanish language as the word for coloured red. The name was chosen for Colorado as a territory in 1861 by Congress and became a state in 1876. So with theorising here about them using this location, using a flaming sword, cherubim, and both are connected to red. That blew me away. And you can do it now. I won't put it on the screen because, you know, I don't know how accurate it is, but there's 32 Edens in America, I believe. There is an Eden about an hour away or so from Denver Airport in the Pueblo region. And I went, So if you're thinking of Eden, E-D-E-N, I thought, you know what, they like to mirror things. So let's use N-E-D-E, Nede, Eden backwards. And again, about 50 minutes away by car, so, you know, quite close in Colorado is Neder or Nederland. And I'm like, wow. So, you know, where you look at it, there is like an Eden connection, whether it's actually further afield. But a lot of people on a lot of channels are looking into Eden and significant stuff going on in the Americas. And I just found this fascinating that the Freemasons are putting the Tiller sword or the Flaming sword, whatever you want to call it, with two cherubim at this location. Remember, and it being a doorway in basically, you know, in gematria being